like I can feeling wavy. Way too early to be here.
Yes, my people. Wagwan. It's Liontekz TV here. I know it's the international break, fam. So, man thought I'll just try something a little bit different, fam. This is a series gonna be called Liontekz Reacts. So, I'm gonna be doing while the football's on the break and other stuff. I'm just gonna try and be a bit more consistent and try to do different things as well. So, this is going to be a reaction to things that people want me to react to. So today we'll be reacting to the Top Boy series. Bruv, Top Boy is the one, fam. Anyone that knows me knows, man, loves Top Boy, fam. Top Boy is top G, bruv. Trust me, bruv. But yeah, drama. It starts off obviously the last seasons ended with Jamie getting killed by Sully. So, bruv, man came out, man just rolled up to man's house with a hood on. Man was on the brazy thing, fam. Man didn't even cover his face or nothing, fam. Or even just went with a mask or nothing, fam. Man showed his face so man would recognize him, bruv. A man shot him in the head, fam, in front of his brothers, blood. Mad thing, bruv. Sully's unstable, fam. He's a madman, fam. He's got a tiny heart because obviously he's got a daughter and he cares about his daughter, but that guy is so ruthless, blood. He don't care, bruv. He'll kill man, blood, just for the sake of it, fam. You know the one's there. Yeah, so he does that while man like Deshane is having dinner with his girl in a restaurant. And then man gets a text from Jax saying that flipping Jamie's been done over. And he's like, fucking hell, what the fuck? So a man goes in and Sully was saying like, listen, man wants to be top boy, fam. Where Deshane wanted to sort of retire from the roads. And like Jamie was his retirement plan, innit? But Sully gone and messed that up, blood, by killing Jamie, fam. So Sully wants to be like the top boy, innit? So him and Deshane having a little bit of conflict, thinking, oh, Sully wants to step up, bruv. You get me? Mad thing. So a war, some sort of war or some sort of shit is just gonna happen, fam. It's just gonna go down. You get me? But yeah, Lauren finally had the baby. You know, after she chefed up flipping Curtis. My Lauren, man like Duchesne. You know the ones there, man like Curtis, blood. You understand? Big up Curtis, the flipping Scouser man, blood. He was a mad youth, fam. Mad youth, fam. Proper sick guy, fam. Mad youth, bruv. But yeah, he got chefed up in the last episode. So yeah, man was dead. Obviously, she's suffering from postnatal depression because obviously she killed the baby father and the fact that she's just had the baby, she's depressed and that. Obviously, her sister Jax, the bad girl, big up Jax, but she's a real one, fam. She is a ride or die chick, blood. She's basically a man. She's harder than most men out here, fam. She don't give a fuck, blood. She rides out for the man, them. You get me? So yeah, but in the meantime, like she's struggling and flipping Lauren's taking sniff on the side while having a baby, in it. So it's a bit mad, fam. Like you could tell, like it's not gonna end too well. You get me, bruv? Like, boy, like Deshane's girl wants to start up a little chain of hairdressing businesses and stuff. You know what I mean? And Deshane's yeah, go for it, bruv. Like, go for it. And when like Deshane's promising her the money, that Deshane invested like 60 million into Summer House, in it, and he wants some of his money back. But the old woman's trying to say like it's tied up in shit, blood. And Deshane's on the bad man thing said, "Fucking untie them, blood." You get me? When he said that, I was like, yes, to Shane. He's not ramping, fam. Man ain't ramping. He said, untie that shit, bruv. Yeah. Only for her to disappear the next day, fam. And man can't get his money, fam. So man's pissed, bruv. So man goes to the old white man that normally comes with him, innit? Like, went to him and said, listen, where's my fucking money, bruv? Where's my money, bruv? And man couldn't do nothing because them man there stole the money in it, and he was powerless to do anything. So Deshane ended up fucking him up and killing him, bruv. Overkill. And like, bruv, blood was everywhere, everything. I was like, Deshane but just lost it, fam. He lost it, fam. But man, but yeah, moving on. Man like Steph, big up Steph. He's a bit grown up now. Obviously, his brother's dead and that. His other brother probably gone to uni or something studying, so he's living in a care home at the moment. Man's hanging around some of the mandem that was with Jamie and that. You get me? He's getting taught the ropes of the roads and that. Man's holding guns. Man's going gym. Man's even linking flipping Nole's daughter, fam. Nole's daughter. Linking her, innit? Drissa's flipping daughter. The one that flipping Solly killed his best friend, innit? Before, because man was like flipping, man betrayed him, innit? Trying to do Jamie's thing, get me? So yeah, it was mad, fam. But yeah, man like Deshane has got the police and that after him, fam, because they found his DNA all over the flat where he killed that man, bruv. So Deshane's on the run from the police, bruv. I mean, it's brazy, fam. Brazy. But yeah, flipping man like Kieran, the African youth, bruv. They sent deporters, the people to deport him, bruv. Yeah. And the community weren't having it. Summer House all came together as a collective. They were all fucking trying to take him away, put him in the van and that. His mother was suffering from cancer, so she was suffering. You get me? It was flipping heartbreaking, fam. You get me? But Summer House came over, they just blocked everything off, standing in front of all the vans and that, protesting and that, to the point, yeah, where they just had to let him go, fam. So I say power to the people. Sometimes, yeah, when you want shit done, fam, you have to come together as a community, fam, and make sure like shit don't get done, fam. When injustice happens, fam, you have to fight for your rights. You get me? So yeah, that was a mad one. Deshane was saying, fam, man, just let him go and that. Deshane having no sympathy in that. But it's mad how life works like that, fam. Because when Deshane was on the run from the police now, there was like an inner city riot right outside Summer House, and man had to blend in just to get away from the police, bruv. You get me? So it's funny how it all works in full circles. But moving on to Sully now. Sully takes Jax on a job to this warehouse. They got an abandoned fucking lorry, yeah, with no one there, fam. So I'm think I'm thinking in my head, fam, that's kind of booky, fam. Like, I don't know what's gonna come out, or who, if it's a setup or an ambush or what, man don't know. So they open up the fucking lorry now, and they got a couple of compartments right at the back of right at the front of the lorry. But when they're taking apart the fucking thing, yeah, man's pulling out decapitated heads, fam. But it was the Moroccan dudes, blood, the Moroccan man from the last episode, fam. Man chopped up the Moroccans' blood and put them in the fucking in the cases, and I'm like, raw, cuz these men are moving mad. It ends up being these fucking Irishmen, blood, these Irish gangsters, blood, bruv, moving crazy, fam, crazy. And they want to do a partnership with Solly. Solly sort of agrees because my man like has taps flipping taps on his daughter and that. If anything goes wrong, she could be in danger. Solly had no choice but to participate in that. Fam, it was just getting gruesome, bruv. Mad thing, bruv. Get me? So, long story short, we get to the good part now. Deshane gets spotted by the police. Man's breezing through the ends, fam. Jumping over things, breezing, fam. Man's on the run, fam. Man calls up this youth, yeah, this Asian youth, yeah, to try and get him out the fucking country, blood. Because if he stays in the country, man's getting nabbed and man's going prison for life. You get me? So man needed to get out of there. Man's having to wait for a passport. Man's hiding out in one of the abandoned houses, abandoned flats in Summer House. You get me? Trying to hide out in that, fam. While Jax, because while Jax, yeah, is moving on a mad one because Lauren overdosed, yeah, and drowned herself in a bath, innit? So it's like she's blaming flipping the drugs and all of that on people like Deshane and Sully because they were drugging it. But really, it's kind of her fault because obviously she was dealing the drugs as well. You get me? She sent her sister away to get done by fucking Curtis. So she was suffering from trauma, fam. You get me? So it's one of them ones. So she's blaming everyone else, but in a way, it is partly her fault as well. But she can't really come to terms with it in her head. So she just took revenge, fam. Went masked up, took the food from Sully blood, stole it. Kieran flipping taking her side, obviously, because they're like best friends and that, fam. So like he's having to lie to Sully and that, bruv. But Sully's not stupid, fam. He knew all along, yeah, that my man was lying, fam, because you know they were best friends and that. Obviously, he's gonna tell them Wagwan. He knew it was Jags, but he was just sort of like playing along with it, kind of thing, trying to suss everyone out. You know what I mean? Moving mad, fam. Like Sully run up in the Utes house where flipping Steph was in. um you know, the older that's teaching Steph the roles and that, of putting a gun in his mouth, blood, literally thinking fucking hell he's gonna blow his head off, blood, but he didn't in the end. Man ended up vomiting because he stuck the flipping gun so far down his throat, blood. Man choked, bro, and started vomiting out blood and that, fam. It was mad, fam. But yeah, the Shane on the run. Jags is flipping practically on the run as well because she knows that if Sully catches her, like she's a dead woman there, bruv. You know what I mean? And she's obviously got the baby as well and her girlfriend. You get me? So she wanted to protect them as well. Flipping. And then she wants to take the food back to Sully, innit? And then while she's waiting around for Sully, flipping Deshane intercepts, yeah, and takes the food off her and goes on the run, in it. Because Deshane needs the money to get out the fucking thingy, out the country, blood. So man's on the run, yeah. And then Jax tells flipping Sully that Deshane's got it. So literally Sully's on the warpath for Deshane, in it. And Deshane's hiding out in the house, blood. And they ended up having a bit of a shootout in the end, fam. And Deshane, as he was climbing over the gate, yeah, as he got to the top of the gate, Sully shot him in the side, and obviously collapsed behind the gate. And obviously, Deshane said, "Look, I needed the money, bro, because the feds are onto man. You get me?" And like Sully was like, "Why did you just flip and ask me, bruv? It's like you stole the money from me, you stole my bags and that." But obviously, like Deshane was losing consciousness, practically dying. He ended up dying. He ended up dying in the end because he was losing bare blood, and that he just decapacitated. And then flipping Sully climbs over the gate, gets the two bags, throws them back over, and walks away, innit? And then the next day now, man takes his flipping daughter. Man waits for his daughter, walks with his daughter and says like goodbye to her and that while she's going into school. And then Sully's walking through the park. And guess who's behind him, fam? Steph with a gun, blood, following him, and then says, "Look," and he points the gun at him and says, "How does it feel?" You get me? Because like obviously Sully killed his older brother, innit? And then Sully's like what happened on that day was fucked up, and that what you had to see was fucked up, but it just had to be done, innit? And then same way, like I know what's coming for me, and like you got to do what you got to do. And then he ended up saying that he's not worth it. And then Sully walked away, and then Steph walked away. You get me? And then as Sully got in his car now, almost gonna start the engine, man just gets popped in the head by a random person. No one really saw who shot Sully in it. So it's sort of a mystery to think, fucking hell, who the fuck shot Sully, blood? Was it Steph? Did Steph come back and fucking shoot him? Was it someone else? Was it, could it be a surprise that Deshane is alive still? I don't know. I think Deshane's dead personally, but it wouldn't surprise me if he survived and he managed to get hospital or whatever, and man just shot him in his head. God knows. But that's how Top Boy ended. Like, this was just a brief review of what it was. I didn't go into too much detail because there was so much shit that happened, and trying to remember everything off the top of the head is a bit mad, fam. But yeah, bruv, I thought it was very good. I can't lie. It was mad how it ended. Can't lie. I wish that there was more like Top Boy, because I love the series of Top Boy. You get me? It's proper sick, fam. So, bruv, like I can't lie, man. Top Boy was the one still. I watched it from obviously from the very first ever Top Boy all the way to the last blood. And it's been a mad journey from seeing like Summer House, how Deshane become Top Boy, all them years after Jamie coming on the scene, badding up everyone, and then ended up getting killed himself in the end after having to kill his brethren out of loyalty to Deshane. You get me? So yeah, man. Can't lie. Big up to Ashley Waters, fam. Big up to Kano. Big up to all the fucking people that participated in Top Boy, bruv. Can't lie. Sick, bruv. Sick program, man. Wish it didn't end like that, but it is what it is, bruv. But yeah, this is just a quick review. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you want me to react to. Leave it in the comments. If you are watching this video, I know some of you watch this video and you lot don't leave comments. That's fine. But if you lot can leave a comment and let me know what you want me to react on, I'd like to keep this series going. And if there's anything interesting you want me to react on during this time, hit me up. You get me? Like, it's Liontekz TV here. Let your friends know, your friends' friends, and your friends' friends, and your friends' friends, everybody. Big up, fam. Bless. Peace out, people. Safe.